Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Today's card was inspired by an image that my kind of local town group posted yesterday. Yesterday was National Indigenous Peoples Day here in Canada. And there was a lot of like online postings and, info to raise awareness. I will post a link in my blog post, and I should be able to post one under the video as well with more info to those that are interested. So with the town posting, they posted this graphic and it just jumped out at me, and I had to make a card inspired by it. Like, it was one of those things where it's like you just can't get it out of your head. I loved it so much. So I will post the graphic on my blog. I don't have anyone to credit. I couldn't find like who designed it, but I will post on my blog, and if someone recognizes it or knows who to credit, I will edit and add that in. So to start off with, I die cut some white cardstock with Simon Says Stamps engraved feather wafer dies. I bought this die set back, I think this came out in September, something like this. It came out in the fall of last year. So I die cut the white cardstock with that, and then I took some black soot distress paint and just freehand painted the bottom. You could totally just use ink and ink blend. I wanted to use paint because I also wanted to paint like the little spine of the feather with that paint as well. And distress paint, it dries quite quickly as well. So I painted it with the distress paint, and then I also added splatter. How can I not? Black soot distress paint is like my favorite for splatter. So I got out my splat box. This background was die cut with Simon's Boho circle wafer die. So I die cut the white cardstock from that, and then added that little bit of black splatter to it. And then I also added some black splatter to the feathers. After all of this was completely dry, I couldn't resist adding some gold. I thought the black and the white and the gold, you guys know me. If you've watched my videos, I have a thing for black, white, and gold together. Plus, I thought it would really kind of make the feathers and just everything just pop just a little bit. So the paint is dry. For the gold, I'm using my Gansai Tambi Starry Colors palette. That's just my go-to when it comes to like all things gold. So I just painted a little bit on the very edges of the feathers, and then of course splatter. Gotta splatter all the things. So splattered the gold as well, and then let those completely dry. And then for the like background that's going to go behind the detail die cut circle, I have 4 rectangles of cardstock that I die cut with a rectangle wafer die, so they're all the same size. And then all of these I'm cutting into 4 pieces. So the first one, I eyeballed it and was holding everything in place. By the second one, I realized it just makes my life easier to use a piece of tape. After I cut it in half once, I'm just going corner to corner, really easy. And having them all the same size will make it very easy to piece everything together. You could totally do 4 cards with these backgrounds. I'm only doing the one. I'm going to reuse the other pieces. I actually use a couple of them for die cutting and for a sentiment, and then the other pieces I just put with my cardstock, and I use them for future die cuts, etc. So I've got all these pieces die cut or cut down. And then once they're cut down, I'm going to piece 4 of the different colors together. So I was happy with that. So all I'm going to do is flip it over and tape them together. Just the easiest way to do it. You could also glue it to like some copy paper or cardstock, whatever works for you. This was just simple enough to just tape all together. I'm just using my Spellbinders tape because I use that to hold my die cuts, hold my foils, all the things. It's just sitting right here on my desk. So taped all these pieces together. And then I will be adhering that white cardstock piece that the boho circle was cut from on top of that. And then for my sentiment, I'm using the small script trio. I die cut the word loved from the scraps of the burnt orange cardstock. And I'm using my Spellbinders, I use my Spellbinders Platinum die cut machine for all my die cutting. But I more recently got my hands on these Spellbinders. They're 6-inch square cutting plates. Highly recommend. Whether you use a big platinum machine like mine or the Platinum 6 machine, which is like the standard size machine, these plates are awesome because they're smaller plates. You can rotate them a bit, especially in the Platinum machine. So you can get like run your die cuts through. Like that's how I die cut that boho circle, which is insanely intricate and detailed. I use those plates for that, and I've purchased extra sets of those plates to have on hand, so I never run out. And they have gold glitter in them, which makes me happy because, you know, but also when they have glitter in them, it makes it easier for me to not lose it in the pile of stuff on my desk, as you can see, because this is how I craft. It all just gets piled up. I can't pile it up even out of camera range, you know, because it's just, I have no space. So anywho, I did all that die cutting, and I have that sentiment that I stacked 3 times with some craft tacky glue. And then I took a sentiment stamp from the CZ Design Simple Sentiments 02 set. The stamp itself says, "You are so kind." I didn't want the last word, but rather than cut the stamp apart, I just inked up the first 3 words with clear embossing ink. And then I stamped it onto this little triangle of the black cardstock with clear embossing ink. And I used gold embossing powder on it. Melted that with my heat tool. And then I'm going to die cut this with one of the Sentiment Labels wafer dies. So just get that centered on top of the die cut, taped into place, stick it on these little plates, run it through my machine, and then I'm good to go. And then I'm just going to use my guillotine trimmer again just to trim off that little edge of that. So I've got my sentiments. I'm going to adhere these to my card front, just right along the bottom there. And I'm just going to use my craft tacky glue to adhere those. And then once those are adhered into place, for these feathers, I decided to use some thin 3D foam squares. One, to give them a little bit of dimension, but also to hold them down really well because they're very like dimensional. The etch lines are cut right through them, so I didn't want to use liquid glue because that could just ooze right out. So I used a little thin 3D foam squares to attach them together. And then I'm going to pop 3D foam squares on the bottoms of them to attach them to my card front. So I've got that all in place, but before I actually adhere them, I got some black baker's twine out of my stash. And I'm just going to tie this around them as if to make it look like they were, you know, tied together. So then wrap that around, tie that, spend a fair bit of time fiddling, as one does when working with, especially with baker's twine, because it's twisted. It likes to just go its own way. That's why I don't use baker's twine as much. I still love baker's twine. Still love ribbon. It's just a lot more fiddling, you know. People still ask me a lot if I will go back to, you know, the old style of cards I did. No, probably not. You know, my style evolves. I like different things, but I do still always have a soft spot for baker's twine. It just, yeah, it's fiddly. So again, got everything adhered, fiddled with it some more until I got it the way I wanted it. You know, I kind of wanted it loose and all that stuff. So then for the inside of the card, I have the Boho Circle Stencil. And I just used some Post-it tape. And I'm just going to mask off triangles so that I can get all 4 colors onto the inside of this card. So I've masked that off. I'm just going to center the stencil. I'm not thinking too deeply. Also, disclaimer, I was on the phone while I was doing this portion of the card. So I was kind of all over the place. So I have the bottom corner for now masked off, placed onto the inside of my card. And I'm using Simon's inks in similar colors to the cardstocks. So I'm starting with Sunshine ink for the bottom and just a blending brush. Blending that on. And then once the first color's on, I can remove the Post-it tape and then mask off the next corner, the next triangle, whatever you want to call it. This was actually really easy to do because I just went corner to corner with the very edge of the Post-it tape. And then it was super easy to line back up again because I just lined it up with the area I already stenciled. Then I go on to my next color, which is just apple green, and I'm just using blending brushes and a fairly light hand. I didn't want it to be super intense. This is another idea though, regardless of what like color combos you're using, that would look really neat. This is not something I would think of. This is where like when you see the graphic that I was inspired by and how this card sort of evolved because of that inspiration, like this is not something I would ever normally think of just on my own. Like, oh, mask off the stencil in this way to create these different colors. You know, I would just not, it's not something I think of, let alone these colors together, etc. So I quite enjoyed making this card. So for the black area, this is where when I was on the phone, I should have done the black on the side, and it doesn't really matter. Like it's not specific. It just would have matched the card front the way I did it and where I placed the colors. So it kind of bothered me, but by the time I realized it, I'd already like adhered the card front, etc. So this is what happens when you're distracted while crafting. But yeah, I blended on a bit of black ink. Again, light hand. I didn't want it to be super, super intense. And then and same thing with the burnt orange, because that's also a very deep color. And then once it's all blended and you remove the stencil, it's like, oh, that's so fun. So I left that. I'm not going to stamp any sentiments, everything. I wanted this card to be kind of open-ended, you know, because it can have just different meanings depending on the recipient, etc. So once I have the inside done, I reinforce the fold. I'm going to adhere the card front to the card base with craft tacky glue. As always, a person could stop here, but I wanted to add a little bit of bling just to, you know, pull in that last little bit of gold. So I took some gold crystals from my stash and just kind of sprinkled these around the card front. And then once I was kind of happy with where I had them, this is one of the times where I'm not really following any rules whatsoever when it comes to embellishment placement. Although honestly, I don't really always follow them anyway. I just stick them where they feel like, where it looks good to me. So yeah. And then I paired the card with a burnt orange envelope, and that's it. So as always, I will have links below the video to my blog post. Like I said, I'll post the graphic in my blog post. I'll post a link to info about National Indigenous Peoples Day. And I will also post, you know, all the info, the pictures, all that stuff. So if you are interested, you can check out that info in the description box below the video. Thank you all so much for watching, for subscribing, thumbs upping, commenting, all of it. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.